This is Trisss, bringing you an Abathur game here in Heroes of the Storm. We will be playing today with Illidan, ourselves as Abathur, Vala, Sonya and Malfurion. We will be going up against an Artanis, Lily, Thrall, Nazeebo and Sylvanas. We will be playing today on the Battlefield of Eternity, which should give us some quite nice moments where everyone is fighting in the middle of the map, where we can body soak pretty close to the lanes and have our locusts push in on our opponent's defenses. I am going with the symbiote build today because our team has Sonya as well as Illidan, which means we have pretty good targets to symbiote on top of. At this point I'm just gonna stack up the mines up here, because I am assuming that at one point or another our enemies will be rotating up. We could also have chosen to put the mines here in the steam vents, so that we get a little bit more vision. However, seeing that we have a Vala and a Sonya in the bottom lane, and we are playing amongst others against a warrior and a healer, a support, I don't think we really need the vision at this point. Because the chances of our teammates getting ganked here is pretty low. And as I am saying this, a third player appears on the map, and oh, luckily she didn't get flipped there, otherwise she might have died. Now I am putting some mines in the vents here, because at this point I think we can make use of a little bit more vision there, knowing what's going on, knowing when they are rotating up towards the immortals once they spawn. Our teammates are being pushed back here, and that's not a huge deal at this point, as long as we get the experience here from the minion wave. And as you can see, the immortals are spawning almost, and pretty soon this lane will be abandoned and we can just body soak and push in with our locusts while everyone rotates to the middle. And our enemies are pretty low at the moment, so if our team would go in, I think we could take that fight. Let's see, we need a nice and safe spot for our body to be, where we are not seen by the enemies. And I'm just gonna crawl over there. That should be pretty good for us. As you can see, even though our enemies were pretty low in health, none of them have fallen, which in my opinion is really a lost opportunity for our team here. As you probably can tell, because our teammates are going 4 against 5 at this point, they have dealt less damage to the immortal than our opponents have. But here our team is going in, and hopefully we can make something happen there. We're just going to put some mines down here, and this fight is, even though they were low, not yet going into our favor. And look at that. Wow. That was really close. Our Illidan player in the meantime has joined the game again, so we can't really blame him for dying there. And we're just gonna body soak in the bot lane and symbiote soak in the top lane, making sure that we don't fall too far behind in levels. Right now we are gonna go for the Adrenal Overload, which will increase the attack speed of our symbiote target by 25%, and this should help out our team quite a lot. We have our Sonya, who will greatly benefit from this. She will be able to attack faster, which means she will be generating more resources, which is in her case Fury, and that in turn will allow her to spam her abilities more often. Another great target for our symbiote is our Illidan player. His trait, which is Betrayer's Thirst, allows him to heal himself with each basic attack and to reduce the cooldowns of his abilities. And thus, the faster his attack speed, the shorter his cooldowns and the more sustainable he gets. Sadly for our team, we have lost the first immortal, and our team really has to defend this, because the more he will take down, the further ahead in experience they can get, even though of course we are counteracting this at this very moment by body soaking in the top lane and helping our team out in the bottom lane with our symbiote. And she has to run to get out of here alive. Thrall is going in, but not deep enough to kill her. She gets out alive, and Illidan is running forwards. He has to be careful too, because he even with the increased attack speed, he is not all that durable. So he indeed falls, which is not good for our team at this point. We are forced to retreat back even further, and in the meantime I'm just gonna make sure that we are pushing out the top lane and not falling behind too far on experience. And as you can see, even though we lost this fort, we are pretty even with our enemies, which in turn means that once we take their fort, we will be ahead in experience. I would hope. But that's of course assuming that we are not gonna lose all of our team members here again. Speaking of which, we also have to start worrying about being attacked ourselves here in the top lane. We have been sitting pretty here in the fog of war, but as you can see, Nazeebo is getting closer, so it's a good moment for us to just retreat a little bit here. Maybe push him back a little bit. He does not seem to be intent on going after us at this point, even though right now he should be able to see the locusts. So we have to play it very carefully here. We're just gonna poke him, and as you can see, the enemy team is moving in. We're just gonna try to duke them out of here. And hopefully no one saw us going up there. Our enemies have apparently all rotated to the top lane. Except, no, all of them are in the top lane. So we should be expecting a very heavy push here. And as you can see, Nazeebo is looking for us. And we're just gonna retreat through our own back door. And I am gonna put some mines up there. And hopefully our team was able to spy that player trying to get up there. And he is being caught out there. He should just have heartstoned out. And maybe we wouldn't have caught him. So, yeah. He tried to kill us, and our teammates punished him for that, which is pretty good. Oh, our Vala player is in trouble. Oh, and she falls. So we are down 2 players. Our opponents are at this point down 1 player. And we're just gonna go sit pretty here in the bottom lane and help push out that lane. In the meantime, our tennis falls and our team is running about. We are pretty low on health here. I'm afraid that Malfurion is not the best healer here for our Sonya player. His trait will give her a little bit more fury, but does that really make the big difference? I doubt it. We're helping her out here and she is able to take down the Nazeebo player again, but she will not be able to take out Sylvanas Windrunner at that point. In the meantime, as you can see, our presence in the bottom lane has indeed helped to push out that lane. We're running into the towers and that's pretty good. We have the option here to go for the ultimate evolution or the evolve monstrosity. I think that our team would benefit more here from us taking the copycat skill. In general, it's the favorite skill for me. I really enjoy it. It gives Abathur a lot of variety in his gameplay and really great opportunities for your team to support it there where it's needed. For instance, if you feel like you need more support, you can Ultimate Evolution or Copycat a support player. Or if you want to be a more beefy assist to your team, you can copy one of the warriors. And thus this skill really helps to even out the weaknesses your team might have at that point. And as you can see, right now our Immortal is going to the bottom lane. We are still sitting in the bottom lane, which I think is a great sign for us that we need to get out of here. In a little bit, we're gonna help push in this lane a little bit first, but it's really not the place we want to be. And look at those mines. Ah, she did not walk through them. That's really sad. They were placed perfectly there. I enjoy putting mines there. It's in between the defenses of your enemies, so they will not be shot down by the towers. And your opponents will quite often be running back and forth from that spot because it's in between their safety bubbles. And if you're lucky, you can catch them in between those spaces, and sometimes you can get a kill with that. We went here for a copy on the Vala player. I actually enjoy Vala a lot as a target for our copycat skill. She deals great damage She's a great hero. She has, I think, a pretty big impact if you evolve her. She just can spam her abilities, do a lot of damage at once, and after that she can keep up her damage with her auto attacks, which are really decent. In the meantime, as you can see, our simple presence in the top lane has allowed our minion wave to push in further. We're going to put some mines in here between the defenses of our enemies, so we will be warned when one of the opponent's team decides to defend up there. And Malfurion might be in a lot of trouble here. I'm going to make sure that we are safe, and we're going to try to help him out here. Oh, he was able to heal himself for quite a bit, and Thrall bit off a bigger piece than he could chew there, and he falls. Looking at the state of this game at this moment, you can see we are ahead in levels, which I think is in part due to the fact that we have been soaking while all the teamfights were going on, and it has given us a nice lead here on our opponents. Speaking of which, they are being pretty greedy here in coming close to our defenses, and we will punish them for it. We do have to watch out. As you can see, Lily has come to the top lane, and casting an ultimate evolution here will make sure that our body is out of the way. We cannot be killed at this point. And we're just gonna try to cause some mayhem here, see if Thrall runs to the mines. He sadly does not entirely. And as you can see, Illidan starts to become a real monster here, which is of course also due to the level advantage we have over our opponents. But I also like to think that the increased attack speed we give him helps out a great deal here. And the flow of the game at this point is really in our favor, I think. As long as we don't lose any big team fight here, we should be fine. And our opponents have not been very, how shall I say that, determined about hunting us down. We have been able to sit down in very nice spots for us for a pretty long amount of time, and we have not been harassed by any of the opponents. So either they don't care, or they just are unaware of it, which is good for us, of course. We are helping out our Sonya player, who is really in the midst of things, and as you can see, we were able to hit a lot of opponents. We are helping her again with that little shield, but out there, all alone, she fell in between 4 of our enemies, as you, I think, should expect. You cannot expect to run into a team of 4 on your own and expect to win that. We are pretty low on health, not being able to do anything else here. Our body is back in position. We're just going to move a little bit closer, making sure that the locusts don't have to walk too far. And let's see if we can make anything happen here in the middle. Our Illidan player with his mobility did not get stuck for too long behind that zombie wall. And look at that. He takes out another of our enemies, and we're just gonna go and keep going with the symbiote build, making sure that we give as much as an advantage as we can to our allies. And hopefully he will be able to get out of here. And I think he's safe at this point, so we will cancel our symbiote, put some mines down here in the vents. Hopefully someone will run right into them. And oh, we have to be careful here. Our players are in between our enemies, and as you can see, Sonya gets really low again, but Thrall for some reason was fighting underneath our towers, and he's paying the price for that. And I think at this point we can get very far ahead on damaging our opponent's immortal. If needed, we can cancel our symbiote and copycat Sonya again, but I don't think that's really necessary at this point. She's doing alright, she's pretty healthy at this point. We are helping out a lot with our symbiote, and look at that, she's taking him down on her own with that nice little head of ours on top of her. And I am getting kind of afraid of our enemies here. And to be honest, most of the time when I'm getting nervous about the position we're in, I end up either harding out or dying. But our opponents have not been hunting us down yet. So I'm willing to take a little bit bigger risk this time around than I normally would. And as it would appear, our opponents have grouped up again in the top lane, which means that our body is safe in the bottom lane. but it also means that we really should help out our team here. So we're just going to copycat Sonya, a great hero in my opinion as well, and we're just going to try to harass them as much as possible to take and eat as much damage from our opponents. And this fight is not going in our favor at all. Our Immortal is still going for it, which is of course great for us, but we lost 3 people there. And once again, I am kind of worried about being attacked here. Thrall seems to be coming down, so, and Nazebo is before him, and we really need to get out of here right now. Nazebo earlier this game was trying to catch us, so let's make him regret searching for us down there, if he so decides. We're just gonna move a little bit further away. And if he however goes on the other side, we would be really in a lot of trouble. So let's hope he doesn't figure it out. And another we are in a very dangerous position, so I think it's a very good time for us to just tunnel out outside of the vision of our opponents and just stand here and help to push in the top lane. In the meantime, it would appear that the teams are brawling again, and let's see if we can help out here. We're gonna copy Vala this time again. I am actually very happy with our team composition here, because I really enjoy copycatting the assassins in our team and Sonya. We do lose our copy there, and Sonya might have to run here. If you look at how much pressure she's under, she really should retreat there. And look at that. That is not a good spot to Hearthstone out from. It's a mistake you sometimes see people make. They just stand in the middle of the map and start their Hearthstoning sequence, and sometimes they're caught out alone, vulnerable, and they die for it. So even though it might take a little bit more time, quite often it is worth it, I think, to Hearthstone out from a spot where you are less visible for your opponents. The Immortals in the middle of the map are up again, and we are actually being pressured very heavily in the bottom lane. I hope that one of our teammates will help out there, but that would also mean that, Malfurion is gonna go for it, it would seem, that we will be short a few players in the middle of the map. I am, however, at this point gonna make sure that our push is strong enough in the top lane, so we can make sure that we take out this keep, which will allow our team to start pushing with catapults in the top lane, which in the long run of the game I think is very, very advantageous for us. As you can see, because we were focused on taking down their keep and the rest of our team had to defend there, we lost the first half of the Immortal fight. Our Immortal is very heavily damaged, and we really have to watch out here because we are a bit further ahead in the game and the Immortals will be a lot stronger compared to earlier. This is another one of these moments where I am kind of afraid of being found here, but it would seem that no one is bothering about getting us here, and our team is not doing well at this point. We're helping out, giving him a little shield, and it's really, really a little shield. Don't expect too much of it. This Thrall just wants to keep going at it. Not quite sure why he did that. But you really have to give him that he was determined, wasn't he? He was standing there, knocking on that door, but yeah, didn't do too much for him there. We have pushed out the top lane pretty well here. I don't think our help is needed. Our enemies are defending the top lane now, which makes it a good moment for us to just leave there and make sure we will be pushing the bottom lane where they still keep standing on the opponent's side of the map. Our top lane in the meantime is in quite a lot of trouble here. Our team is not yet grouped up, they are in the process of doing so, and we're just gonna ultimate evolution here. Our Vala, sadly we were blinded right away, which is really, really bad for a Vala player. So still we're gonna make the most of it. I'm trying here to not fight in the middle of the minion lane, but we were sadly not able to take her out. and our team is pushed back a lot here. I'm just gonna make sure that we put some mines down. But, oh, look at that, Malfurion falls, and our Illidan player is going to the back line, but he will not live long there. He gets vulnerable and is taken out. Vala is on the run, and as it appears, she did not make it out. So this is really bad for our team, and we might actually lose the game here. We are out for almost another minute. There is no one for us to copy at this point, which does show a weakness of our ultimate. You literally can do nothing with this if your team got wiped. I am symbioting our core here, but it's to no avail. We cannot stop this onslaught of our enemies, and sadly for us, we lose this game. This is the score sheet, and even though we lost, I enjoyed it. So thank you guys for watching, and have a good one.